that theme song. Greetings, y'all. How we doing? Baby, green screen. Be green screening, okay? Okay. Let me say hello to the peoples. Sal always gets here on time. Sal always gets here before class so that Sal can ditch. Okay. Mr. Stevens is here. Miss Autumn is here. Greetings, everybody. How's everyone doing? How did everyone enjoy their Halloween? What did we do here? Give me some feedback. What do we do for Halloween? I like it too. I like it. Although look, honey, she cutting off half of my hair, okay? Y'all, I put a rinse in my hair. I put a rinse. It's supposed to be silver, but it's a little blue, but I'm working with it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Mr. Stevens, greetings. Autumn's greetings. Sal E, greetings, and greetings. You stated that you know what, that was probably the best thing. That was probably the best thing. You know, I had to work at the salon, and it was funny because we had bought a lot of candy. We bought a lot of candy for these kids. And it was almost like the parents, they were like, you know, like in a big hurry, come on, let's go. I mean, I just saw them dragging these poor babies all over the place. I remember, listen, I'm not afraid to admit it, baby. When the Great Pumpkin, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, baby. You knew that was the markdown for the holidays. Now, I believe Apple owns that, so it's not public anymore. But yeah, that was that. What's this? Greetings, my love. Wait a minute. Let me showcase this right here. Look at that. What's this? I don't know if you've been here since we got the StreamYard. Autumn, you remember that? You remember that? You remember that? Yeah. Because then it was Happy Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown, and then it's Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. Baby, that Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, I'm telling you, even as a child, that shit made me cry. Oh, that shit made me go, oh, they just dogged. They just dogged the shit out of Charlie. Poor Charlie Brown. Poor Charlie Brown. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, let me get that out. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, worked, came home, was bought a shitload of candy. I'm still eating it. No trick-or-treaters. But listen, I want to show y'all. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Ghost Adventures. I remember them from the very beginning, and now you know they came to be like a joke. You know, they're like a joke. But Nene, no, you've been OTR. Well, what's this? I'm happy you here. I'm happy you here. Y'all, let me know if you want me to drop the link if you all want to join in. But I don't know if you all are familiar with Ghost Adventures. Well, yeah, I remember them from the very beginning. I remember them as they came up and stuff like that. And like I said, you know, they goofy now. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna put this up on the screen right here. This right here. This is the documentary. I'm here to tell you all. This documentary right here. This documentary right here scared the very living shit out of me. Now let me say this. Let me say this. This is nothing. That documentary is nothing you can just kind of like do something else and watch. You got to watch it. You got to invest. All right. That documentary, I don't know if any of you all were familiar with this movie that Lee Daniels made earlier last year. And I think it was called Deliverance. But it was with Glenn Close. And it dealt with like a supernatural occurrence and stuff like that. That movie got its inspiration from that demon house. And let me say this much. In that movie, and I quote, in that movie, and I quote, Glenn Close, Oscar award-winning Glenn Close, Lee Daniels made that woman say on the screen, her line was, I can smell your nappy pussy. Lee Daniels, needs to be brought up on charges. That's all I'm gonna say. Lee Daniels needs to be brought up on charges. Mr. Michael saying, do I like horror movies? Um I like good scary movies like Saw and all that. Yeah, that don't do nothing for me. That I mean, that's I mean yeah, that that's Saw and like the Friday the 13th, that don't do anything for me. Slashing for slashing, but I will say this much. I was a child when that the very first Halloween came out. Baby, baby, baby. John Carpenter. He changed the face of Halloween with that movie. I tell you that right now. So yeah. I guess there ain't nothing else to do but to really get into this. If y'all are good with that. I got a little announcements. Um November the 5th is a super moon. They've not given me my Poltergeist was the last horror film that I watched. I got something to say on that. Right there, Miss Autumn. So November the 5th is a super moon. Depending on what my schedule is, I may do readings on the 5th or I may do readings on the 4th. Not quite sure yet. The last super moon of 2025 will be December the 4th. 2025 is leaving with 3 super moons in a row. That's telling you something. That's some big shit. That is some big shit. So about that Poltergeist. Autumn, I'm not sure if you know this actress. She's an older actress. Her name is Shirley MacLaine. And Shirley MacLaine, she was really big, like in the 50s. And then so what my affiliation with Shirley MacLaine is that Shirley MacLaine wrote these books. And the first one was Don't Fall Off the Mountain. And no, that was one of them. Out on a Limb. That's what it was. It was Out on the Limb. She wrote this book. It was called Out on a Limb. And then they made a movie about it. And again, I was a child. That was the first time that I heard of a celebrity talking about metaphysical, quantum physics subject matters. And at that point, like even as a child, like I ran to the library, got the book, read it. When I found out that they were making a movie, like my family was like, "What the fuck is Ronnie watching?" Listen, I was that extra child. So and that was it. Now I say all that to say this. Shirley MacLaine was slated to play the mother in Poltergeist, and she did not. She refused. She respected the director and stuff like that, but she had a lot of reverence for the subject matter. And when she read the script, she's like, I think we could do better by this. You just want to do this for like a scare factor. And yes, but if you're not going to dig beneath the surface and you're just going to keep it topical like that, I don't want nothing to do with it. So that is my contribution to what you just said. And what's this? I don't watch anymore. I have seen too much. Yeah, that's real. That's real, sweetie. That is real. Okay, moving right along. Y'all, November the 1st, yesterday was the 11/1 portal. So if you all have been feeling off or detached or emotional or even extra quiet lately, that's why. This energy isn't light. The energy of the November 1st portal, baby, this energy, it's to clear bullshit out. It's to clear it out. So November 1st wasn't just like another date on the calendar. It was a spiritual checkpoint. how do I say this? It's a moment where like the universe asked, are you really ready for your next level, or are you just talking about it? And for some of us, that answer came with people falling away, plans not working, or situations ending fast. And so a lot of us have been dealing with that. I want to say this. That's not a punishment. What you Miss Autumn, what you doing right now, what's happening yesterday and today, baby? That's the purge before the upgrade. This is the purge before the upgrade. So every time a portal opens like this, it brings a lot of truth to the surface. And exposes what can't move with us. It exposes what is out of our alignment, and what's been draining, like our energy, our frequency, our vibrations. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight, because I love setting you all off for your 5-day work cycle, with a little something you can hold on to. So when our energy shifts, everything and everyone around us shifts as well. And that's what this season is really about. Learning not to, this season right now, with what we're doing right now, this season is learning not to resist the flow and not to lower our vibrations just to stay connected. If that makes any kind of sense. So let's get very real. You haven't noticed, you know what? Oh, and I'm going to drop the link right now. I'm going to check and make sure and see if anybody wants to join in. If you got something to say on some of these topics, you just join in, okay? Oh, and for newbies, listen, if you don't have a camera, that's fine. You can turn your camera off. You're not camera ready, baby. I'm never camera ready, but we come out here and do it. You can do it with the audio. You can join with the audio, okay? But let me say this. Have you ever noticed that when you start upgrading, when you start healing, when you start raising your vibration, certain people just start fading out? And there's no beef, there's no pressure, there's no betrayal. It's just energy. People come into our life based on our vibrations. And when our energy shifts, the people around us are either going to rise to meet us, or they're going to drift. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can share this with you all. Give me 1 second. No. Stay. No, that ain't it. Share the screen. There we go. Share the screen. Here we go.
Say, you've changed. Remember, it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember, it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
Any of you ever felt that? Hold on. Unmute the mic. There we go. Wait, you can't unmute your guest mic because it's Autumn, your mic is mute. There you go, baby. You ever noticed that, baby?
I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to share this with you. I have shared with you just recently about my disconnect from my mom and my son.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my son had an event yesterday, and I wasn't going to go, but I went, and it was okay. The conversation was real light. I can tell he still had some feelings or whatever about whatever, but I was glad that I did go. Um, just to, show my support for the little event that he had. I wasn't going, I really went because my daughter wanted to go. So I took her. It was like a health event, and I wanted to participate in the health event as well. And yeah, last night I found out that my mom went in the hospital. Um, she has a pneumonia, and it just broke me to the core of my soul. And it broke me because of how I'm feeling about how she treat me, but I was like, I have to go see about my mom because if something happened to her, because like she's really having a hard time breathing now, is that if something happened to her, I would feel really, really bad. Leaving us like that, you know. So my sister came and got me, and I went to go visit her today in the hospital. And it was so many of us, all of us came, like all of my siblings came. So when I got there, I couldn't go right up. So I had to wait till my brother, one of my brothers came down, and then I let my sister go up. Only two people could be in the room because she had just came out of uh where you're critical at. So only two of us could be up there. Anyway, I was the last one to go up. I let everybody go and I went up last. And I kissed her and I sat in a chair and I talked to her and stuff. And I was glad that I went. The conversation was light, but I was glad that I went.
I'm glad you went too,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, I'm glad that I went. I didn't feel bad about going, and I felt so sad inside, and it was like I'm still battling with myself, my to keep my peace and still deal with her, even though it wasn't a toxic situation then, but I still wanted to keep my boundaries up, and I don't know. And it's like I came on camera because I was like, maybe I could get some advice. Like, is it okay to feel that way?
Mama, those
Or,
are boundaries.
because
Those are
I
boundaries. Mama, those are boundaries. That is self-protection, baby. And here it is, Autumn. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. The fact that it had been so tumultuous, the fact that in spite of that, you would put yourself in a position to where you would have possibly have gotten hurt. Mama, that is divine alignment. Your divinity overrode your fear. You probably not felt that way, and that's probably giving you a lot of confusion. Autumn, sickness, people passing over, that doesn't get people a get out of free card. That things happen, things were said, things were done. We have the choice. Are we going to hold on to that in this moment, or are we going to override that? Are we going to override that and do what we know we're supposed to do? Because I'm going to tell you this right now, baby. I'm going to tell you this right now. You feeling kind of fucked up right now? If anything were to have happened that you didn't get that opportunity or you didn't take it, you'd be feeling worse. You'd be feeling worse. Autumn, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Put your hands together. Fingertips. Put your fingertips together. Take a deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Do it again. Now, Autumn, say this. I am doing the best I can. Say it.
I'm doing the best that I can.
That's it. That's all, baby. That's it. That's all, baby. That's it. That's all. That's all you can do, sweetie. I am doing the best I can. You call them God, you call them universal wisdom, you or whatever it is you call on. Speak it plain. I will do what you want me to do if you show me how. And you did, Autumn. And you did. Let that pressure go, baby. Let that pressure go, Autumn. Let that pressure go. You've done the best you could. That's it. That's all, baby. That's it. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
How's that feeling?
It feels good. It feels good.
Is it a little lighter?
It is. It is.
A little lighter. Mama, you can't, baby. You know, it's wild, Autumn, that we talking about this. Autumn, your frequency has changed. Your frequency has changed. You can only be responsible for you. Now, if people keep you in that position, it is not your responsibility to live up to that expectation. Do you see what I'm saying? You got to know who the fuck you are. You got to know who the fuck you are. Like everybody else on this live, like everybody else on the walking the street, you are a human being with the same capacity to make mistakes. You are a human being with the same flaws that every human being is. You made your mistakes. You paid for them. Girl, at some point, if you can't get redemption from the outside, you're going to have to start doing that for yourself because you cannot carry that load, baby. That is not your portion. Like I told Mr. Stevens one time, that is not your portion. And I always, when I do my readings, I always say you stay on assignment. Your assignment is your alignment. Your assignment is your alignment. You cannot keep doing that, baby. You cannot that's not your portion.
I understand.
I don't want you to understand. I want you to understand.
Okay.
I want that to go in. I want that to go in. And this right here, Autumn, and this right here, this ain't nothing but universal mind telling me this. This emotion that you're feeling right now, Autumn, you need to put this down on paper. Something needs to be expressed. You a writer, you're going to use this. This is fuel, darling. This is divine connection. All right. This feeling is not here to bust you down, Autumn. This feeling is to activate your creativity so that you can alchemize. Baby, you are magical. You're going to take this emotion, you're going to put it into words, and you're going to give it out into the world so that others can survive what you are going through right now. This is your assignment, Mama. You're a writer. Write. You're a writer. Then write.
I will.
All right, baby. Let me get Mr. Michaels down here. Let me get Mr. I'm gonna get you down off the screen, baby. All right, and y'all, we all gonna send. We go listen, not just for our sister Autumn, but for everybody out here that is suffering, for everybody out here that is carrying an emotional burden that is not theirs. Y'all send some light, send some resilience. Send some care, send some love to all these people, all right? Let me see where. Give me a second, Michael. Let me see this. Lord knows I need this tonight. Listen to Autumn. And then Ryan said, help me out of a similar situation. I was told that I'm rude. And I said, yes, I am. Baby. What's this? Baby, I'm going to say this. Darling, and the fact is that I'm going to be responsible for who I am, but what I'm not going to be responsible for is how you interpret that. And if you took my confidence as rudeness, baby, I cannot fix your insecurities. I can't fix them. Now, unless you were rude, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you are, but unless you were, baby, that is someone else's opinion, and they are more than entitled. They are more than entitled to that. They are more than entitled to that. Mr. Stevens, what say you, baby?
So, let me see. Wow, it's kind of funny you asked that. So yesterday, and I know what you're gonna say before you even say it. So yesterday was Jay's birthday, if you remember, from
Yep.
last live. If you know, yesterday was his birthday. I have not talked to him in like a long time, but I, you know, I still can't get him out of my head, out of my mind. But the thing is, he had, like I said, he has some spiritual issues, and he talked about me badly. And I remember what you said back in March or something. You were like, this person has too much trauma. They don't want a happy ending. And I was actually thinking about that too. I think you can read minds too. And you were saying that this person does not want a happy ending because that's what they're used to. And I want to, I was having issues thinking about him, on his birthday, because he's gonna turn 30. He turned 30 and everything. And and it's just like, it's really weird. And it's kind of fun that you said the letting go, the 111 portal, you know, and that's what was going on with me and everything. But in a lot of ways, I thank God that he's not in my life, but but I'm still mad as hell. But hey, you know.
I mean, Mr. Stevens, I don't know what to do with all that, because I'm
Uh,
gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be honest with you. At the end of the day, we can
mhm.
acknowledge what was going on. We can acknowledge that, that this person played a part in it. But at the end of the day, it's up to us whether we are going to allow that individual or that situation to take residency in our mental landscapes. That's a choice. That's a choice.
Yes.
That is a choice. Darling, infinite wisdom separated you from this individual. And the thing is, and again, Michael, I don't understand why you can't get the fact that you cannot expect anything from this individual when he is not demanding shit from himself.
Oh, yeah.
But here you are, months later, pontificating on this. And Michael, I and I love you. And I'm not here to say, I'm not trying to say nothing mean to you. I don't mean this in the spirit that it's coming out of. I mean this in, hopefully, in the spirit of awakening. I can guarantee you, Michael, I can guarantee you, the moment that you stopped feeding in to his psychodrama is the moment he stopped thinking about you, because you cut off the source.
Wow.
And yet he is still taking up residency in your emotional mental landscape. And baby, there is so many other things that need that real estate, that this person, with all of his trauma. Let me just put it to you this way, baby. I'm just gonna put it to you this way, and as lovingly as I can say this, baby, I'm gonna hold your hand as I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
The energy that you are extending right now, baby, there is no return on investment. And
Mm.
if there is no return on investment, then my good man, you've got to cut that out. But see, there's
Mm-hmm.
something about that. There's something on this that you getting something out of. And you got to find out what that is. Because for me, I'm gonna say this much. It's easy to keep going back in the past and talking about him and bringing this shit up, as opposed to doing the inner work that we need, so that you could keep it in perspective, and him being a very minor subject.
Mm.
And I'm saying that with
Amen.
love. And I'm saying that with
And
love.
I ain't mad at you. I love you that you tell the truth. I love it.
So there you go. All right,
All right.
I'm gonna get you down, and I love you, baby. All right, y'all, give it up for Miss Rabbit. Rabbit Craft came in. Hey, darling, I'm glad you're here. Okay, but just like with Autumn and y'all, I've got the link. I got the link. I am not paying $59 a month so that it's only Autumn and Mr. Stevens to come up on here and share. All right. So wait a minute. Where am I at? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Y'all better click that link and y'all better start sharing some stuff. All right. So with Autumn and Mr. Stevens, I'm just going to say this much. Energy doesn't lie. Energy don't lie. When you start setting your boundaries, when you stop entertaining the mess, when you start choosing your peace, your vibration is going to change. Your frequency is going to change. But everybody can't breathe at that altitude. When you elevate, not everybody is going to breathe in that altitude. And when that air gets real thin, some of them folks are naturally going to fall away. And it's like when you walk into a room and everybody's complaining and you catch yourself joining in just so that you're not that positive one. That's you lowering your frequency in real time. The lesson is stop confusing alignment with attachment. Stop confusing alignment with attachment. Alignment doesn't mean everybody's supposed to come with you. And listen, not everyone you meet is meant to come to your next level. Some folks are only meant to walk you to the gate, not through it. Their purpose was to help you unlock that certain version of yourself. But once that vision evolves, that connection expires, and that's okay. And that's okay. It means the ones who can match your energy will. And the ones who can't, won't. And that is not rejection. That is realignment. That is not rejection. That is realignment. You all ever had that friend? I did. I'm going to call her Cindy. I'm going to call her Cindy. And there was something about Cindy. There are a lot of things about Cindy that I loved. Cindy was probably one of the most accomplished women that I knew. And she was so young. She was so young. Cindy is what I call domesticated. Give me one second. What's this? There you go, baby. Thank you, my love. Give me 1 second, and I'll get you together. What's this? Cindy is what we call domesticated, and what that means is that she was by the book. She dotted them eyes, she crossed them T's. Everything that the company said was what she did, and she was very accomplished. However, she came from a very controlling family, and so with that being said, Cindy could only operate within the rules. She was always attracted to me because I was always the one. I was always the one. Listen. Just because I'm spiritual doesn't mean that I'm not going to call good fuck you and your mama too. All right. So I just want to let you all know. But the thing was that she liked that. I had no problem in hanging. I know. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. For as much as I could offer Cindy, the thing is though, is that for as accomplished as Cindy was, the conversation was always a downer. Now, I was studying for my teacher's examination. And this was something that was very, very important to me. And during this time, I had a lot of things go on. I had gotten sick. My cousin had died. I had a lot of things going on. It is the day of the day of the exam. At 5 a.m., I get this phone call, and it's Cindy. And she's all in tears. And I'm like, girl, what's going on? Now, mind you, I've got to be up in 4 hours. I got to study all of this. This is how I started my day. And to make a long story short, she hung up. I couldn't get a hold of her. And then like maybe around like 2 p.m. And now, mind you, this was after I taken my test. She's like, oh, never mind, girl. I called my brother, and he got me together. And I'm like, oh, really? And that's when I knew. I had to cut Cindy off. All right. What's this? If you want to come back on, baby, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out. Okay. So, again, if I had to be honest, the majority of those conversations were venting, were gossiping, was all trauma talk. And we were just being bounded over pain, but not purpose. And then, like, when I started, clocking that shit, I started setting boundaries, protecting my peace, minding my business. Suddenly it got quiet on Cindy's front. And to be honest with you, I don't know what happened to Cindy, but I guess my elevation did the speaking for me. It did the speaking for me. So, so that's what happened between me and Cindy. So, when shit like that happens, you start to wonder, did I do something wrong? No, you didn't do nothing wrong. You just stopped feeding that vibration. You just stopped feeding that frequency. So you stopped being a safe space for chaos. Ooh, let me say that again, because that felt good. You stopped being a safe place for chaos. Give me a second. What's this? How you doing, baby? Oh, I hear you, baby. You trying to get through. We got you, baby. What's going on?
My bad.
There you go, girl. Come through, baby. What's going on, baby?
It's just a lot. Like Miss Autumn said, when it comes time when family and loved ones get sick and your mother gets sick, true faces show up. And I was experiencing, I was like, why is my aunt acting like this towards me? Why is she being like this? And so God showed me in a dream, and I was like, oh my God, this heifer. That's all I could say is this heifer. And I was like, oh my God, she is really tripping on me and how I act. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I got a potty mouth like, oh my gosh. That's all I can say. I'm trying to keep it clean now and not say anything out the way. And I just couldn't believe it. And God showed it to me, and I didn't even ask for it. And I dreamed about her, and it startled me. And I was like, wow, if I can get back in this dream, because this is the second time she done showed her face in my dream.
You ain't got to get back to it, baby. You ain't got to get back to it. The fact that she was in that dream was more than enough, baby. The fact that she was in that dream was more than enough. And you call it God, I call it universal wisdom. Baby, God showed you what you needed to show. Now, here's the thing. What's this? What are you going to do, baby? How are you going to move with that? How are you going to move with that?
Very lightly and with my Bible.
And that's all you can do, mama. And that's all you can do. Because once again, girl, here it is. I tell you all this before. I'm an Aquarian with a Sagittarius rising, and baby, let me tell you something. I think it's flipped, but because sometimes it's more Sag. There was a moment that I would match that energy. There was a moment that I would match that energy, but the thing was, darling, is that when I really did the work, me matching that energy was nothing more than my ego. My ego wanted, well, I'm going to get this bitch together. Or who the fuck do you think you talking to? Nah. No. When I would just be there and I would be quiet and I would just look at them in the eye and I would smile. Oh, and then I would give them, okay. Ooh, baby, that, okay. Baby, they weren't mad. They were big mad. And all I did, okay. They knew that I knew that they was on some bullshit. And with that knowledge that didn't even need to be spoken about, we both knew. We both knew. That smile and that okay did everything for me, baby. It did everything for me. And somehow, I'm going to tell you this, what's this? Somehow that anger, it didn't transfer onto me as anger. That anger transferred me into power. I was in power because I said it last time in last week's live. What triggers you controls you. I was now the trigger. I was the one that was now in control. And baby, when you get to that point, baby, let me tell you something. What's this? When you get to the point where you are somebody's trigger and you know you are, girl, that is a sexy feeling. Woo, that's, baby, girl, if I could bottle that feeling, baby, I'd be a billionaire. Do you hear me? Shit. Oh, that was a sexy feeling. And that's what I want from my people. I want you all to get that sexy feeling. I want you all to realize when I sign off and I say, stay in assignment, your assignment is your alignment, that alignment is going to give you that sexy feeling. And so at the end of the day, what's this? Did you ever find out what was up with Auntie, why she felt the way she felt?
I noticed that for years, she was be angry or jealous. And I don't even understand why a lot of people jealous of me and my family. Maybe because of who I am. I don't really care. And it was like things that I noticed in the past, when I had a renter in a house. Oh, I take me and put in my house and get the money. I'm like, oh, right, I see how you are. And it's always, oh, I'm playing. But me, the kind of person I am, if you say it, you mean it, so.
Words have power. Words have power.
Yeah. And so she showed her face many times and her actions and everything. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you said it, you meant it, you weren't playing because your mouth said it. And so she, I'm just playing. As always, I'm just playing. And I don't have time for I'm just playing. So I do believe that
you play with
in time it's going to get over.
And that's it. Now, and at this point, what's this? Are you good? Are you good with her now? I mean, are you good with the situation? You ain't got to be good with her, but are you good with the situation? Do you feel your power?
Yes. In the beginning, it was like, not in the beginning, but 2 weeks ago when I left out again to go back over the road, I got mad in the beginning of that. Then I said, nah, I'm going to let her stew in it. I'm going to let her have a fun time in that amusement park of her mind. Yes, I am rude. That's what I told her when she called me rude and told me I was rude to the whole family. Because I don't chew my words. I say what I got to say. And if they offend me first, okay, and come out the side of their neck, I'm taking my whole head up.
And let me say this, because I had someone tell me one time, I'm like, I said, wait a minute, and wait a minute, this was a former boss. And he's like, you need anger management. And I'm like, no. Why is it that because I point out the dumb shit, I'm the one that needs anger management? But people around me could be as obtuse, as stupid as they want to be. But the moment I point it out, oh, I'm the issue.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the issue. Baby, let me say this to you. And again, and I'm trying to stay in this divine light, but I can only be who I am. I can only be who I am. Baby, I have told several a person that when it comes to the way you talk to me, if you talk to me like you crazy, I promise you, I am always going to be the problem. I am always going to be the problem. Now, wait a minute. Now, universal mind is still working on me. I'm not saying that my way is right. I'm just saying I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. And there's going to be a time when that's going to fall away. So
in my situation, I don't think it's going to fall away because when I was nice and didn't use no profane language, that's when they didn't hear me. But once I started calling out them F words and them other words, they can hear me then. I noticed that. But then they leave me alone.
No, but see what's this? The thing is that you see, you're not giving the situation, or you're not giving yourself enough credit. They heard you the first time. They heard you, baby. The fact that you lowered yourself to in a language that they could understand, there was something that was like, oh, I gotta now. You know what I'm saying? They weren't prepared for the fact that you were going to go that route. They weren't ready for that. They thought that, it was always going to be, okay, she's going to hold her tongue and things of that nature. I'm going to say this to you. What's this? Your best revenge here. The opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. The opposite of love is not hate. It is indifference. I had someone tell me at the job, it was a friend of mine, and there's a woman that I'm not particularly fond of, and we ain't got to get into all that. He goes, well, I would never sit with the enemy of my friend. And I looked at him, I said, she's not important enough to be my enemy. When you suck all of that power, when you suck that significance away from a situation or an individual, baby, they are left with nothing. They are left with nothing.
So true.
There you go. Baby, I'm gonna drop you off and I'm gonna finish this up because what time is it right now? It's 9:17. I want to get done by 9:30 because y'all got to go to work tomorrow. So do I. All right. But baby, thank you for joining, honey, and thank you for sharing. All right.
Thank you. You have a great one.
You too, baby. Thank you. So as I was saying, when those people fall away, it's not what you did wrong. No, you got to stop feeding that vibration. And again, like I said, you all stop being a safe space for their chaos. So we going into this one. Oh my God. Till death do us part. Ooh. Till death do us part. Good to hear that from you. Yes. Thank you, Rabbit. I love Rabbit. Rabbit always giving that emotional triage. That's my girl right there. Before we get into love, before we get into relationships, let me say this again. Not everyone you meet is meant to come to your next level. All right. So some people, again, they are these divine detours, not forever destinations. They teach you, they stretch you, they break you open, but they can't grow where you going. All right. So now that goes into relationships as well, because this is where this lesson really tests you. Maybe you've been growing and you've been learning to communicate better. You've been doing the work. You've been doing your inner work, but your partner is still moving in survival mode, shutting down, starting arguments, trying to control the energy because that's what feels familiar. No matter how much love there is, you cannot help but to feel that distance. You trying to speak from peace, they speaking from pain. And it's not that they're bad. Your frequencies just don't match up no more. There are people that start therapy and their partner says, you know what, you're too deep now. You're doing too much. Or you stop arguing and they say, you don't care anymore. That's not distance, y'all. That right there is energetic death. And that's where that old saying hits differently. Till death do us part. That's where that saying hits differently. Most people think that it is a physical death. But sometimes death happens way before the body goes. Sometimes the death is the end of a certain vibration. Sometimes the death is the death of a version of you that used to tolerate that chaos. Death of that, death of the dynamic that kept you small just so that you could keep the peace. And when that happens, you got to ask yourself, am I staying out of love or am I staying for habit? Because when the energy between two people dies, but they keep forcing it, that's spiritual CPR. In the chat, just give me a one. Give me a one in the chat. If you ever felt like you were trying to resuscitate something that's already flatlined, give me a one. I know I have. You know, you doing those chest compressions, on the past, and you keep breathing life into what's already gone, you end up lifeless. Yeah, we got one. We got some ones. Sometimes it's not. Yeah, let me just say this much. Let me say this much, y'all. Spirit is really talking to me right now. Sometimes it's not till death do us part. Sometimes it's till growth do us part. Okay? Till truth do us part. Till alignment do us part. And y'all, that's not quitting. That's not quitting. That's graduation. Anybody here? Anybody in the chat? Any of you ever had to walk away from love even though your heart wasn't ready, but like your psyche said you ready? I did. I did. Ooh. And baby, I used to cry over this man. I used to cry. And baby, when I woke up and I looked at him, baby, I got pissed off because it was like I split. And I was like, this is who you was crying over? This is who you was crying over. And y'all, it's letting them go to find the right person. Come on now, Miss Rabbit. Come on now. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes. You all eat again. When I took a step back, and the thing that made them so appealing, the thing that gave them so much value, I was the one that did that. I did that. And baby, when I pulled that attention away from them, baby, I'm here to tell you. Oh my God. The phone calls, the texts, the showing up at my job. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm like, where was all this before? Because now I'm over it. But yes, I will take that. I will take that date to the Cheesecake Factory. Oh, yes, I will take those rides. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But now at this point, I'm not even doing it to think, oh, look how nice he's being to me. I'm just doing it because it's convenient for me. That's it. That's all. Yeah, I didn't smell the coffee. What did you smell? Look, I just woke up, honey. All right. I just woke up. And and wait a minute, and I'm joking about it, but let's be real, y'all. Letting go does not come easy. We get attached. We get used to certain faces, we get certain voices, certain energies, and in my case, listen, and in my case, I gotta say this much. I gotta say this much. 9 times out of the 10, the freakish sneaky was good, and that had kept me involved. I'm not afraid to admit it. I stayed for some good freakish sneaky. I stayed longer than what I should have. That freakish sneaky had me there. But I know that I'm not alone on that one. I know I'm not alone on that one. Yeah. I walked away. No rap, no nut. Yep. Yep. Did you cuss? Nope. Nope. Did not cuss him out, Mr. Stevens. Did not cuss him out. Yep. Yep. Autumn. Yeah. Yeah. That freaky sneaky, baby. That freaky sneaky. Yeah. It's some powerful stuff. It's some powerful stuff. But you know what? Listen. And because we're adults here, because we're adults here, I can say this. And again, I keep it very real with you all. Listen, when I found out that you could get the 9 inches without that ignorant bastard attached to it, oh honey, that was a different plateau right there. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it very real. Listen, I want you all to be aware of the resistance. I want you to be aware of that resistance. When you catch yourself scrolling their page, looking for signs to see if they miss you. When you do that, y'all, you are negotiating with the universe. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Y'all, you cannot explain elevation to somebody who is comfortable at ground level. Let me say that again. You cannot explain elevation to anybody that is comfortable on ground level. Autumn. Yeah, right there. What's this? You ain't alone, baby. You ain't alone. You ain't alone, sister. A lot of us stay for the freakish naked. A lot of us. And the truth of the matter is that you either evolve or you echo. You either evolve or you keep looping that same shit over and over and over, because you cannot do both. You cannot elevate and echo. You cannot do both, babies. You cannot do. So, hey, Martha. So here's how I'm hoping I can get you all through this, because here's how you can move through this with peace and not guilt. Okay? When something stops fitting, stop forcing. Don't chase the closure. Don't beg the understanding. Sometimes y'all, closure comes in silence. Sometimes closure comes in silence. Bless it. Release it. Let it go. You're not walking away from them. You're walking back to yourself. Did you hear what I say? You're not walking away from them. You are walking back to yourself. Do you feel that? Because as the words are coming out of my mouth, baby, I gotta chill. I know I'm channeling something divine tonight. And you know what? You want to know something? Autumn, the one that I left behind. There's in Chicago. There's during the summertime. There's a lot of festivals that deal with house music. I'm a house head, and I was like, oh Lord, how am I going to feel? How am I going to feel when I see him with somebody else? And it happened. I did see him with somebody else. And it was like my brain split in two things. Number one, it was all in, I was like, girl, peace be with you. Because I know everything that comes with that man. And then there was another portion that said, I'm glad it's not me no more. And I continued to do my thing. I continued to do my thing. Okay. Oh, he lives shit. And wait a minute. Look at this. She ran back to herself the way you ought to. The way you ought to. When you all are finding yourself in this, and if it ever gets, hopefully, you'll remember this. Do not isolate yourself. You are not meant to do this alone. When you got to separate yourself from somebody, do not isolate yourself. You're not meant to do this alone. Find spaces that match your new energy. People who talk about peace, people who talk with purpose, people who are interested in their healing, in the elevation. Join a class, go to an event. Watch who you attract when you stand in your truth. Observe yourselves. Because when you separate yourself from some bullshit because you are on your level, you coming up. I've said it to you before. The universe does not like a vacuum. It does not like a vacuum. Some people are going to come in. You've got to keep your eye. Keep your eye on the people that are coming around you when your healing begins. You are, without even trying, you are finding your tribe. You are finding your tribe. If you do not fill that gap with something that resonates, with resonance, with your healing, you will end up crawling back to the bullshit just because it's familiar. It's just human nature. It's just human nature. Change, it shakes our nervous system. When that loneliness hits, go outside, walk, write in your journals, breathe, meditate, pray. Remind yourself that peace isn't boring, it's safe. Peace isn't boring, it is safe. Don't mistake calm for emptiness. Because remember, when you separate yourself from the bullshit, you are always going to be in that flight or fight mode. We do suffer emotional, spiritual PTSD. And so when that stimuli isn't there anymore, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. Don't mistake calm for emptiness. That is your spirit resting after caring too much. You all with me? Y'all, this is 773 Oracle and Tarot. Let me do this real fast. If I was to put this bullshit into the cards, here we go right now. Right there, death. It's that moment that you finally delete the thread. It's the moment that you block the number or stop checking if they watched your story or your Instagram or your TikTok. Right here, right after that, we're going to have this, the star. That morning you wake up and you realize you didn't think about them for the first thing, and that's healing. That right there is healing. And then last but not least, right here, the lovers. That moment you meet someone who matches your peace instead of your pain, that is alignment. That is alignment. Let me ask you all in the chat, of the cards, where are you all at? Are you death? Are you the star? Are you the lovers? Where are you at? Where are you at? And Miss Autumn, that was his assignment. That was his assignment. That was his assignment. Yep. We got stars. We got the lovers. We got okay. 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 So here's what I want you all to take from this, because I come here on Sunday and I want to give you something all to hold on to for the 5-day work cycle. All right. You're not losing people. You're not losing people. You're losing versions of yourself that used to attract them. We don't have to shrink to stay connected. Don't chase what's already detaching. When your frequency rises, everything in your life reorganizes it to match. That is not punishment. That is alignment. That's alignment. And if someone can't meet you at your new frequency, that don't make them your enemy. It just means their season in your story is complete. Did you get that? I got a friend in New York. And baby, let me tell you something. He does that. How come? What you doing? Cleaning house. I'm like, wait, are you really cleaning out? No, girl, I'm getting rid of all these phone numbers and blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, okay. I'm glad I made the cut. Oh, he always doing that, baby. Oh, my friend, you do not mess with his peace. No, ma'am. Their season is complete. Yes, Miss Martha. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Thank you for what you gave me. It's time to move on. We got to keep this show rolling, baby. It's time to move on. So, I'm almost to the end. Anybody want to jump on here and share anything before we close out? Here, I'll send the link again. Give you a few more minutes in the event you do. And like I say, you ain't got to be on the camera. You can just use your microphone. Come on, Michael. Come on. Mr. Stevens says, one more story. Come on. There we go. Come through, baby.
I'm back again.
Okay.
I'm back.
Come on.
Okay, so I have a little bit of a story, and then I'll let you close for the week. So, I had this friend who I was friends with for like a couple of years or whatever, and so he would always ask me for a ride to school, ride home, and everything, and we would hang out and everything. So one day he blew me off one day, and we didn't talk for months or whatever. And it made me think about what you said. Don't try to CPR a relationship. So we got back together as friends. This was years ago. And he started dating this girl who I have a feeling that would not click with. I told him I did not want to meet his girlfriend. And then he kept asking me, why? Then he started calling me selfish. And I said, look, I think that we're going to have to part ways. I wish you and your new girlfriend all the luck in the world. So one day I'm leaving therapy or whatever. I get a message. I get a message on my Facebook from him saying, hey, Michael, I know you had troubles with your previous friends' girlfriends. Can we be friends again? I said to him, I said, his name was Josh. And I said to him, I said, I appreciate you texting me and messaging me, but I don't think that you and I will be a really good fit. And Diva, after I said that, I felt so bad. I was normal, it's normal. But some of the stuff put me through. And to finally just say, I don't want this no more, I felt bad. And
Michael, you broke up. You broke up. I think you broke up. You broke up right before you said you felt bad. You said you broke up when you said we're not going to be a good fit. What happened after
Yeah.
that?
So I said to him, we're not going to be a good fit and or whatnot. And he said, well, I wish you well in life. He said, I wish you well, my old friend. And then he tried to tell me some stuff that happened to him when he moved out on his own or whatever. And I just didn't care, because when I'm over you, I'm over you. And
What
I
sign are
tell
you?
you, I did.
What sign are you?
Pisces.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just
Yeah.
wanted
Pisces.
that's a very that like that. I don't mean to interrupt, but like that
That's okay.
detachment thing, baby, that is very Aquarian. That baby, when it's over, it's over. It's
Yeah,
over.
and
Yeah.
I don't do that very often. I don't do that all very often. But I remember I said something to my friend when I ended the friendship. My other friend, and he said, it's understandable, because when I say I felt bad. When I said I felt bad, oh my God, I felt horrible. And, because I'm not used to setting boundaries. And so I just wanted to put that story out there. So,
Well, and I mean, it feels very weird when you have to do that, because naturally we want, we I mean, I'm gonna say this. Like at this point in the game in my life, I don't mince words. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is,
Mhm.
is that I gotta say, like, I am nobody that anybody has got to change for. I don't expect you to be something else that you're not. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Yeah.
expect you to be the very best you have to offer, because that's what I'm gonna bring you. The best that I have to offer is my authenticity. That's the very best
Mhm.
that I have to offer. And the thing is, authenticity leaves you vulnerable. Okay, it leaves you open for judgment and all that stuff. But when I can bypass all of those, all of those hazards, and still be present and give you my authenticity, the moment I find out that you not only bullshitting yourself, because if you bullshit yourself, you're gonna bullshit me, baby, I'm out. I'm out. I said this to you in particular, Michael. I do not expect the truth from people that lie to themselves. I don't. I just don't. It is what it is. All right.
Mhm. All right.
All
Good
right.
night, Diva.
Good night, baby. Hey, we're almost done. Don't be dipping. We're almost done. All right. What do we got? Yes, we're gonna do. Yes, baby. Yes, well, I'm gonna get you a prayer. I'm gonna get you a prayer, baby. I'm gonna get you a prayer. All right. But before we do all that, I want to give you guys. Let me see if I can do this. Y'all say this with me or drop it down in the comments. Say it with me or drop it down in the comments. All right. We're gonna close with this. I don't lower my frequency to stay connected. I don't lower my frequency to stay connected. I trust divine alignment. I trust divine alignment. The ones meant for me will rise to meet me. The ones meant for me will rise to meet me. Here's a good one, y'all. Here's a good one. I bless what was. I trust what's next. I bless what was. I trust what's next. That's the frequency we walking into this 5-day work cycle coming through. That's the frequency, babies. I want you all to stay there. I want you all to stay there. And you remember something, y'all. As you elevate, the ones who can breathe at your altitude will find you. All right? The ones that can breathe in your altitude will find you. Now let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let's get into this prayer. Oh, before I do anything, y'all, please give me some. Please show some love for my moderators. Please show some love for Rabbit Crafts. She wields a mighty wrench, but coming up from the back, Miss Martha. Miss Martha she's a ninja. She gonna get you on the slide with that wrench. Please give up some love for them, please, as we're going to close out. And as we do that, we're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it simple. Here we go. Divine Spirit, we release what no longer serves us. We welcome connections that fit our energy. We trust the flow and step into our next level. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Ashe, amen. We're going to keep it small. We're going to keep it tight. We're going to keep it very real. Okay? All right, y'all. Miss Martha, Rabbit Crafts, what's this? Autumn, Sal. Who am I missing? Did I miss anybody? I'm looking. No, I guess that's it. I get Nene. Baby, Nay went to sleep. Nay passed out. Y'all, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. And again, your assignment is your alignment. Your assignment is your alignment. Thanks for the live. Thank you. What's this? Thank you, y'all. Hey, share the live. But you know what? Share the live. Don't forget to like the video, all of that stuff. Let's try to build this community, baby. Listen, I'm paying $59 a month for this stuff. Let's try and see if we can get some more people up in here, okay? Please. At least we can make it worth our while, okay? All right, y'all. Hey, thank you all so much. I'm sending you all some big love from Chicago. Y'all, thank you. Y'all stay blessed.